Moving on to the current team, and no spring game, so we didn't get to see the Gators on the field like most of the teams across the SEC. I believe Kentucky was the other team in the SEC, did not play a spring game, but Emory Jones already named starting quarterback. Did Mullen announce that in such a way to say he's the starter right now, this is the way the depth chart stands right now, or basically he's not going to lose this job, he is our starting quarterback?
I just think it meant, Mark, he's been with the program. We go in the fall camp. He's going to be the guy. It will take a lot for Anthony Richardson to push the envelope and be the guy. And I mean, probably, Mullen kind of changed, I think, a bit in his ways. When Felipe Franks was the quarterback 2018, 2019, it was more of the coach speak of, every position's open, even quarterback. Felipe Francis will go out there and he'll have to compete just like every other wide receiver, running back, offensive line on the offense. But you knew last year that this is Kyle Trask's offense. There was no ifs, ands, buts about it. It's going to be Kyle Trask leading the offense, and it was pretty clear from Dan Mullen as well. And this time, he said, Emory's going to be the guy to lead the offense first in 2021 there. So you got. I think Florida Atlantic and USF the first two games of the season. Then you got Alabama week 3 coming into the swamp. So, you've got to use those first two games to figure out, there's no – and, I know fans love, okay, we'll sandbag the first couple games. We'll keep some plays. Coaches don't really do that. You run your offense the first couple games. Yeah, you may save – something here or there, but you're not saving a whole entire game plan for the most part when you roll into a season. So, we'll see, Mark, of how much they let Emory Jones run, how much they let him pass in those first couple games. I do think they'll want to see him throw the ball more in live action in those first two games. It's not to say, they're only letting him throw because they're going to unleash the run game against Alabama. No, I think they really want to see. We haven't got to see Emory Jones since 2018 as a quarterback go out there and throw the ball 30, 35 times a game. And I really think that's what's going to happen in these first couple games when you lead up to that Alabama game in week 3. I remember going back to Dan Mullen's first game, I believe it was Charleston Southern, and Felipe Franks was throwing the ball all over the field. As the season progressed, you didn't see him throw the ball all that much. But I think to get the confidence up in the quarterback, to get the confidence up in the offense that the passing game can work, I think you start the season off throwing the ball a good bit, get comfortable, and then you unleash the full offense versus Alabama when not saying you hide it all, but you want to get some confidence in certain places.
David Waters on the line from Gators Breakdown right here on YouTube. You can catch his show here, or you can go to your favorite audio platform and just search Gators Breakdown. It's just the standard for Florida football fans, but if you track the top teams in the SEC, the top teams across the nation, you just love college football, it's still a great listen for sure. The people that don't follow this team day to day, but know about all the personnel losses on offense, are just kind of conceding that this team's just not going to be anything close to what it was offensively last year. Are you conceding that they're going to start playing a bunch of 20 to 17 games and it's just going to be little firepower on that side of the ball?
No, I mean, it's a damn Mullen team. They're going to score points. They're going to find a way to score points. And they're not going to be the throw it 40, 45 times and have plays, explosion by Kadarius Toney and Kyle Pitts. It's not going to be that offense. It's going to be a more ball control offense, but that still doesn't mean that they can't go score 30 points a game. This is a quarterback with Emory Jones who's been on campus since 2018. You would like to think, I think Florida had somewhere around 30 points a game with Felipe Franks at quarterback. That should be your floor. I think that's what you're looking at with a quarterback who's probably more suited to run a traditional Dan Mullen offense, and who, for all intents and purposes, as a recruit, was talked about. I mean, he didn't throw the ball a whole lot in high school, but was talked about having some arm talent there with Emory Jones. So I think your floor, Mark, you're probably looking at a hybrid of Felipe Frank, Nick Fitzgerald type of offense back at Mississippi State with Dan Mullen was there. That's the floor. That's the worst you're going to get. Emory Jones is probably a better runner than Nick Fitzgerald. He's definitely a better passer than Nick Fitzgerald. There's your floor. So you start there. That offense was okay. It was pretty good. You got more talent on this Florida offense than you did back in that Mississippi State 2017 year Dan Mullen's last year. So, no, I don't think it's, Florida should concede anything as far as, no, put it this way, Mark. And we talked about this on the podcast this week, too. The offense isn't going to be what it was in 2020. And that's not an indictment of the 2021 offense. That's how good that offense was last year. You're doing a disservice to Kyle Trask and Kadarius Toney and Kyle Pitts if you sit here and say, oh, there's not going to be any change. No, those guys were good. They're going to get ready to go be drafted in the first round in the NFL next week. So don't do those guys a disservice by saying, oh, no, we won't miss a beat. Emory Jones and Jacob Copeland and those guys will lead the offense. They might. But it will look different. It will be a different offense. Florida's got a stable of running backs. They got some experience at wide receiver, but Mark, it's going to be a different offense. It really just hinges on the defense, and maybe a more ball control style of offense keeps that defense on the sideline a little bit, lets them get their confidence up early on in the season. And I think that was the biggest thing with this spring is try and find some confidence on that defensive side of the ball. I think they lost it pretty early last year. It was snowball effect, and they weren't as bad as they showed on defense last year. As I said, I think they lost confidence and snowballed. They weren't that bad. I don't know how much better they're going to be, but they're not going to be that bad.
You mentioned experience at wide receiver, but I'm hearing about one guy, Jamarcus Weston, who has hardly any experience. He's got one catch in his career in the Cotton Bowl, but because of what he's flashing in the spring as one of the fastest players on the team, we may see a breakout player there.
Yeah, Mark, Mullen surprised us all a bit. One of his first spring media press conferences saying, yeah, Jamarcus Weston's the fastest player on the team. And I was like, whoa, okay. You got Xavier Henderson and Jacob Copeland at wide receiver and DeMarcus Bowman in the backfield and all that. And Jamarcus Weston, well, he wasn't even really thought to be a speedster coming out of high school there. So kind of took us back a little bit. I know Florida ran some combine some fun combine stuff last week, and I think he ran the second fastest 40 on the team. And it came out during spring as well. He lined up into Wildcat for the Gators as well. So, Mullen maybe getting creative and trying to find some speed at some positions to get some more points down there. Now, I don't know how much we'll see him at Wildcat. I'm not sure why you kind of just get so predictable in offense. If you put him back there, more than likely you're running. You put Emory Jones back there, he can probably do a whole lot of the same thing. You put Anthony Richardson back there, he can probably do a whole lot of the same thing and leave the threat of a pass that's still happening as well. So, I don't know how much we'll see it. I think you do it a couple times and see if he can just bust a big play if he really is that fast and use speed to his advantage. But, yeah, I know when he was recruited, Mark, he was asking around the program a young receiver that Dan Mullen and Billy Gonzalez really liked and liked what he was able to do. Has probably taken, with knowing that, has probably taken a little bit longer to get on the field than maybe thought when guys like Trent Whittemore, who come in the same class, got some more playing time last year before he was injured. So, but yeah, Weston's a guy definitely looking out for, especially if all the talk of his speed is out there true. If there's one thing Dan Mullen can do is get the ball in playmakers' hands, and if the guy's got a speed like that, Mullen will take advantage of it.